So with Eafc coming out this Friday for people who have pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition of the game, I just wanted to go through a few little quick starter squads, just give people some ideas of what sort of routes they can go down and what they can look at. I mean, obviously, when we're looking at starter squads, we're looking at kind of affordability. So especially, I mean, at the start of the game, a lot of players, when they first come out, they're going to be quite pricey because the game's just released. So, even 81, 82 gold cards in the first few days, they're probably going to start off at in the thousands, obviously, and then over the course of the weekend and the week, they'll probably slightly drop a little bit. But I've gone with just like a Premier League starter team here. Now, the front three are a little bit coin heavy. I mean, I would imagine Diaz as an 84, very good pace, shooting, dribbling, not bad passing, very good starter card. I think he's probably going to start off in the thousands, and then I would imagine that he will probably drop, but at the start you're probably looking at kind of in the double digits of the thousands, probably upwards of 15, 20k, maybe even more than that. Also with Diaby as well, obviously, like the Lynx, French Premier League, 95 pace, 86 dribbling. He has only got a 2 or 3 star weak foot, I think, but again, he's just going to be rapid. Like the start of the game, having him on the wings, he's just going to be so good. Like through balls, just playing with him at the start of the game, he's going to be so quick. Especially if you're playing defenders that are not always the quickest, like depending on what squads people have got, he's going to be really useful. And then you got Nunez, who his gold card last year was actually really good as a starter, and obviously this year he's got 90 pace, 81 shooting, very good physical stats. I think he's only 3-star weak foot. Let's have a look. Yeah, 3-star skills, 3-star weak foot, which ain't the best, but I think when you're looking at a starter, for what you're going to get at the start of the game, he's going to be really good up front. I mean, again, these sort of prices, someone like Nunez, when the game comes out, he's probably going to be, even 20, 30,000 coins on the first probably few hours or day. He then might drop to sort of like the 15, 20 mark. I don't really know how the market's going to go. I don't know how expensive these players are going to be. I mean, you look at Varane last year was an 84 overall, and when he came out, I think for the first few weeks he was around like the 60, 70k mark, and he stayed there. So it'd be interesting to see what sort of prices these are. Then in midfield, we've gone for like Joelinton, who's just very well rounded. You could go for Bruno, but he's an 84, so I think Bruno's going to be a little bit more pricier. Obviously, pace, shooting, passing, very good dribbling, defending, physical. Just like a really good box-to-box, up and down midfielder. You could probably even play him CDM. You could play him as like one of the midfielders that push up, like a left centre mid. He's just one of those kind of got a little bit of everything. Probably not going to be the silkiest on the ball, but I think he'll be like a good, for starter cards, you can't really argue with that. Szoboszlai as well, obviously he's like 4-star, 4-star. He might be a little bit pricey. I mean, you look at these stats, all of the important stats above 80. You've got like 83 pace, 82 shooting, 84 passing, 82 dribbling. Defending, obviously, it doesn't matter. He's going to be like a cam or more of, again, like a right centre mid or a left centre mid. 64 physicals. He might be a little bit pricey, but I think with an overall rating of 82, he's not going to stay at high price. Then you've got Nunez, who again 79 rating overall, so I don't think he's going to be pricey. He's going to drop probably quite quick. And again, like 83 pace, 81 dribbling, 73 defending, 77 physical, 74 passing. He's not like nothing special, but I think again CDM, left or right centre mid, up and down the pitch, he's sort of well rounded to just cover basically everything. He can pass a bit, his shooting's okay. Like he's got good pace. He's just a kind of a good. I remember him last year as well. His gold card was pretty good at the start of the game. Then like left back, we've got Moreno from Aston Villa, 80 rating overall, so shouldn't be that. And there is quite a few fullbacks this year, so he shouldn't be too expensive. 87 pace, not bad dribbling, defending's decent, physical's okay, nothing special. But again, 3-star, just quite a good fullback, up and down. I think Saliba this year, I feel like Saliba's going to be the Varane of previous years looking at his stats. Like, 82 pace, 84 defending, 82 physical. He's got the height. I just feel like he's going to be one of those cards that you're probably going to have him and he'll probably be solid for, like a month, couple of months, like you wouldn't even need to upgrade him. You could probably stick with him for a while. He'll just be really good, a bit like how Mendy is in previous FIFAs. Varane, I feel like he'll be one of those cards. He might be pricey because obviously he's gone up to an 83, playing for Arsenal and stuff. I feel like there might be a lot of hype around him, so he might hold his value a little bit. It'd be interesting to see. Then I've gone for Van de Ven, Tottenham. I mean, the guy's like 6'4", 85 pace, 79 defending, 80 physical. Again, on the ball, he's going to be like sluggish. He's going to be like a truck a little bit. But if you look at actual pace in the air, strength, defending, 78 rating overall, I can't see him being expensive, to be honest. Especially with how many good centre-back options there are. You could pick 10 or 12 centre-backs in sort of the high 70s, early 80s, and they're all quite solid. So I can't see him being expensive, especially after the first day or two. I can imagine him dropping. And then right back, I've gone for Porro. 82 pace, 81 dribbling, 74 defending, 77 physical. Probably more of a what's Porro? Porro's 3-star as well. I mean, Porro's probably more of a attacking fullback rather than, even though his defending's not the worst, he's probably more get up and down, better at attacking. Obviously, he's got a high attacking work rate, medium defensive. So he's probably one of those ones who's going to be more suited to sort of as a fullback bombing up rather than defending. But I think, again, 81 rating overall, pretty good links, being Spain as well. You could probably do like a hybrid with La Liga and other leagues. He'll probably be a solid. And then I've gone for Pope in goal. I mean, I had Pope last year as gold card. He's one of those gold cards that usually are just solid in goal. He's obviously got quite a big upgrade this year because after how well Newcastle did last year in real life. But he looks really good. He's got the height. Normally on FIFA, the tall goalkeepers are good. So I've gone with him. If you want to look at some other options, some of these may be cheaper, some might not be. Joe Gomez in defence, obviously, every year. He's so good, gold card. Like, he's just one of those players that you just buy him and you're sorted for a while. You don't even need to upgrade him. You can just upgrade other areas. Like, he's reliable, 82 pace, 79 defending, 77 physical. Although he's been downgraded the last couple of years, he hasn't lost too much pace, which is pretty good. Then I've gone for Kanate. 81 overall, very good defending, physicals, pretty good pace. Again, he's just big. He's going to be one of those defenders, I think, that's just going to run into people and take the ball off them, and it's going to be hard to sort of, going to win headers and stuff. Not the quickest, and obviously he will be, how tall he is, he probably will be quite stiff, but I think early on in the game he'll be a solid card. An option for left back, I've gone for Henry for Brentford. 89 pace, 75 dribbling, 74 defending, 72 physical, high. Again, he's just going to be another like card who's just going to be good at going up and down. He's got the pace. He's not got the worst defending physicals. Just get him bombing up and down the left full back, wing back, whatever your formation you want to play. Whether you even play three at the back and have him as sort of a left wing back or left mid that sort of gets up and down. But again, cheap, 78 overall, playing for Brentford. I can't imagine him being more than 1,500, 2,000 coins, especially after a while, after a couple of days. And then another option for right back, we've gone for Wan-Bissaka, who's more of a defensive option than Porro. Similar stats really. Obviously dribbling's a bit worse, but he's got better defending, a bit less physical, one more pace with 83. But again, high work rate for defensively, so he's going to be more of a sort of solid defender. He's not going to be so good at going forward, but I think for staying back, if you want someone that's more solid who's just going to keep it tight and sort of like not get beaten so much, he might be a good option to go with. There is obviously other players there. You've got like Reece James, Kyle Walker, but I think like they're going to be quite pricey. I mean, Walker will definitely be expensive. Trent's got a big downgrade this year, so he might be cheaper, but Trent's they've done his pace. I think he's got like 76 pace or something, 70 odd. I don't think he's going to be that good. You have got players like Luke Shaw, left back as well. There might be a couple more, but pace-wise, I was just looking at sort of players with the best pace who's just going to be sort of like good cheap cards early on. So obviously in midfield as another sort of option, whether you want to play him cam or left centre mid, right centre mid, I've gone for Paquetá, who is not the quickest, 72 pace, but he's quite well rounded, 77 shooting, 79 passing, 84 dribbling, 5-star skills obviously. I think he has anyway, let me just double check that. 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot. So you're looking at a very well-rounded, good card for the start of the game. 81 overall, West Ham. He is Brazil, so obviously if you ended up getting like a Neymar, getting some Brazilians, maybe even from Saudi League or other leagues, then obviously you can link him quite well. I think he'll just be a good card, box to box, left centre mid. I'm not sure if he can be a cam. His shooting, passing, pace isn't the best, but I think as probably like a right centre mid, he'll be pretty good. I've gone for another West Ham player, Kudos, who's a right winger. Again, like 90 pace, 84 dribbling, 75 physical, 74 shooting. It's not bad stats for a starter card. He's 79 overall, so I can't imagine him being pricey. He looks just kind of like a good agile. He's got good height for like a winger. He's kind of, his body type might be alright. He's not going to be like stiff. He's going to be very agile on the ball. I think he might be quite a good winger, even if you had him as a sub or just started off with him until you can work up enough money to maybe buy Diaby. That could be an option. Gone for Trossard. More, I've actually put Trossard in here more as like a cam. Obviously, he can play striker. His pace for a striker may be a worry, but then looking at his stats, I think he has 81. Where is he? I think he's got 88 acceleration, 75 sprint speed. So sprint speed's not great, but the fact that he has 88 acceleration, if you give him a hunter, for example, you're then looking at 96 acceleration. Obviously, the sprint speed's very low, but the acceleration's quick. He's 4-star, 4-star. So he could well do a job up front. But what I was sort of looking at is if you look at, say, for example, like a Maestro, as a cam, 88 acceleration's very good, especially at the start of the game. Obviously, as you go in later, you want better. But for the start of the game, we're talking very good acceleration. You know, shot power, long shots, increase those of the Maestro. Passing upgrade, which is good. Dribbling's very good. I mean, agility, balance. His reactions are poor, but if you give him Maestro, he gets a +8. You know, composure's decent. Ball control's okay. He's got very good stats, I think. He could be very good as a cam, in my opinion. That's what I think, anyway. I think play him as a cam, he could well and he could do a very, very decent job. Then we're looking at Enzo Fernandez, another option for midfield. Quite well rounded, pace, shooting, good passing, dribbling's pretty good, physical, defensive. So again, he could probably, you know, high. You could probably play again like a box to box, left centre mid, right centre mid. You probably could even play him as a CDM. His defensive stats are not as good as like maybe some of the others like Joelinton and certain other CDMs, but I think he would do a job for sure. Whether he's more suited to sort of like a, you know, number 8 or something rather than a CDM. But again, quite a good card, 83 overall, Argentinian. I mean, he may be a little bit more, obviously he's going to be pricier, I think, than a couple of these guys, but I don't think he's going to be overly crazy. Havertz is an interesting one this year, because obviously he's had quite a big downgrade. I think he was 84 last year. So 82, I feel like he's going to be on the more cheaper side this year. But again, you look at his stats, pretty good pace, good shooting, good passing, good dribbling, physical's not bad, he's tall. What's his stats here? 4-star, 4-star. I mean, you look at Havertz, I think, again, as sort of like, instead of Joelinton or Nunes, if you played Havertz maybe here, or on as a left centre mid or right centre mid, even as a cam, he's not the quickest and he's quite tall, so he's not going to be the most agile as a cam. But I think if you put an engine maybe on him, I think with his height, 4-star, 4-star, making runs into the box, he could be a pretty good cam. Probably more, you know, if you had him as a box-to-box midfielder, he's sort of good in the air for crosses and corners, but he's also got pretty good dribbling, passing, well-rounded. I mean, you could even maybe try him up front with, like, and have a smaller striker who's quicker playing off him. It really depends how you want to play, what formation you're going to play, but I think Havertz is a decent shout. I've thrown Martinelli in, who I actually think Martinelli's going to be expensive because he's an 84 rated. He's had a big upgrade, Brazilian, Arsenal. I feel like he's probably going to be quite pricey. Now, what is Martinelli? He is 4-star, 3-star, but I think he's going to be a very good winger. Obviously, 89 pace, pretty good shooting, very good dribbling, physicals are pretty good, passing's pretty good for a winger. I think he's going to be one of those ones where, a bit like Diaby and Diaz, it's probably going to be quite pricey. He probably will drop after a while. I mean, if we're talking starter squads within the first 2 or 3 days of the game, you're maybe more looking at Kudos, Matoma even, maybe players like this, rather than your Martinellis, Diaz, Diaby. You may have to look at sort of the even Almiron, Harvey Barnes, maybe some of those sort of players who are still pretty good, but they're not obviously this level. But for the first few days, you might pack them or get them and then build up to once you've got a few coins, done some rivals, whatever. You may be able to upgrade to like Martinelli, upgrade to a Diaby, Diaz. Another striker I've put in is Danjuma. I remember last year I had his gold card at the start of the game and he was really good. And then I think he had, I'm not sure if it was a player of the month card or something, but I remember he was really good like at the start of the game. Like if we look at Danjuma, let's just check. So he's 4-star, which is pretty nice. 86 pace, 81 shooting, 83 dribbling. Solid card for a starter squad. Whack a hunter on him. I think he'll be good. 81 overall. It's probably going to be very affordable, quite cheap. I don't think it's too much. So him, again, someone to look out for as a good starter. Then I've gone for Gakpo, who is 83 overall. He may be a little bit pricey, but again, good pace, good shooting, decent passing for a striker, good dribbling, very good physical. He's tall. Let's have a quick check here. He's 4-star also, which again is nice. Gakpo, I think he may be, obviously, he's going to be more expensive than like your Danjumas, Trossards, but I think he's going to be a card that will be very good, especially in the starter game. You could probably even play him cam as well. Or again, if you play him with like some quick wingers and get the balls in the box, use his height, or if you even play him with like a Danjuma or someone who's a bit smaller and faster up front, that could be a good combination. There is a few other players who I've left out who actually are kind of good mentions for the starter. So you've got like Doku for Man City. Obviously, like shooting and passing's bang average. He's got 4-star skills, but obviously pace-wise, like pace is unreal. Dribbling's good, other than obviously reactions, ball control, composure's pretty low. But his agility's good, balance is good, dribbling's good, pace is very good. I mean, again, you could whack something like a Maestro on him, get his reactions up, get his dribbling up, get his passing up a little bit, or you could probably go for like a Deadeye, get that short passing up, get the shooting up. It really depends what you want to go for. I think you've got Artist as well you can put on him, which puts his reactions, dribbling, agility maxed out, gives him, you know, long passing, crossing, some even vision and stuff. So you've got some things to do with him. Again, he's probably, you know, I know he's a new player to the league, but he's 77 rating overall. So the chances are you're looking at he's going to be, I would imagine, like maybe not the day the game comes out or the hour it comes out, but I would imagine you're probably looking at, you know, 1,500 coins, maybe 2k max, even dropping a bit lower than that. At the start, I mean, a lot of these cards when they first come out, they're probably going to be quite pricey, but again, so that's some ideas for Premier League starter squads. Obviously, there's a lot more options. There's other players out there. You might have even been on the app yourself and looking, and you might even found some other players that you like the look of that I've probably missed out. So obviously, feel free to use whoever you've also got, and you can use this video as ideas to just add on to what you've already looked at. But obviously, I've pre-ordered the game Ultimate Edition, so I will have it Friday. So from Friday, I'll be putting out a lot of content. I will be doing some live streaming on YouTube at some point. I'll be playing some rivals. I'll be doing some drafts, some SBCs, some objectives, maybe some player reviews over time. Obviously, then when Champs comes out, I'll be playing Champs, live streaming, doing rewards. So make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay in the loop. And also, the next few days, I'm going to be doing Serie A, Bundesliga, La Liga, and the French League squad suggestions and sort of gold starter squads, like a bit like this video. So I'm going to cover all 5 leagues. So make sure you stay tuned for them. And thanks for watching.